Hello once again, this is Ramirez with Tidewater Renaissance Fighting Arts. And a lot of you have asked me, hey Ramirez, why don't you do more stuff with one-armed or one-handed swords? Why don't you do things with Messer? And for a while the reason was, I don't own a Messer. I don't fight Messer. So I felt like that wasn't a good enough answer. So I got a Messer. This is the VB Purpleheart Armory left-handed Messer. This is the one with the nagel, not the ring. I know there are other reviews out there for VB Messer. This is the one that Purple Heart currently, as of February 2026, has on their website. So I don't know if this counts as their light or it's just the one they have that says left-handed and it's not the ring guard one. So that's what it is. I'll try to put a link down below to this particular sword, and let me tell you what I think. In my club, we did have a person who fought with a steel messer. It was one of the bigger, fancier ones, so it had a blade that was like twice as thick as this. It rang like a bell whenever it hit anything, and it was really cool. But it was right-handed. So as people had asked me about doing more with Messer, which I hope to put out more videos featuring Messer and left-handed Messer. I've really enjoyed working with this. I have been fighting with it for the past few weeks at practice, really enjoying learning to fight with Messer. Normally my one-handed swords have been either rapiers or side swords, so I really haven't done a lot with Messer. We do teach Dusak at the club, so I'd had some experience, but not a lot. But I have to say that working with this Messer has been a lot of fun. I've learned that the guards do protect a lot better than I thought. And overall, the handling and performance has been pretty good. Very light overall in its movement. As far as the construction, I clean it up fairly often, but I really haven't had any major burrs or anything with it. I know that some people have said about the VB Messers that their guards get scratched, and thus far it's been hit a few times, but I really haven't seen any severe deformation. I don't know if that's an improvement. I know that other older videos about the VB Messer have made complaints about it, and maybe I'm just not getting hit by people hard enough in the guard, but I really haven't seen that much of this getting chewed up. I think maybe VB has improved their design for the guard for the left-handed Messer. As far as fit and finish, everything's tight. There's a little bit of gappage on the left and right-hand sides, but it's nothing that really affects performance. Everything's tight on here, so I've had no complaints. I have not had this very long, so it's not like I'm doing something after years and years of use, but I am giving my first impressions after having used it. So as opposed to me just unboxing this, this is one that I've been playing around with. As I said, I do want to create more left-handed content, and I have been asked by a lot of people, what about left-handed Messer? And since I didn't have one, I decided to go ahead and get one. This does, for the record, come with a spatulated tip. I, of course, tip mine because that is a standard for our club. If you don't use tips, then it is spatulated, not a rolled tip, so that's good, I guess. Either way, as we tip within our club. We fight with tipped weapons, so that works for us. I've, as I said, overall been very pleased. Usually when someone says, hey, will you fight single sword? I'll be like, do you mind if I break out my Messer? And it generally hasn't gone well for them. So this has been really a lot of fun to play with. It has a lot of presence in the bind. Just being able to have that leverage that I feel like this Messer gives me has been really enjoyable. Just one caveat. I have yet to fight another Messer with this. So I've been fighting largely side sword, long sword, all sorts of other weapons combinations, but I have not fought another messer. So will things change when that happens? Maybe. We'll wait. We'll wait and see. But otherwise, as far as a weapon, I know that sometimes the VB stuff from Purple Heart gets a bad rap. I think this is a really, really great, really fun sword to use. And if you are looking for a messer, especially for those of us that are lefties, I've talked with the folks over at Purple Heart, and they do try to at least keep one or two of these in stock, or usually all their left-handed stuff. They do try to keep something in stock when necessary. So it's a lot easier to find than some of the other sites that even if they had a messer in stock, it's usually going to be a right-handed one. You're going to have to wait for a long production time. So if you are interested, you're a left-hander, you're interested in messer, I would go ahead and check if Purple Heart has one of these sitting around, because they are really, really fun. You can get them relatively quickly. They are, in my opinion, light and fast. I do not have an extensive experience with messer, so full disclosure there, but I found that fighting against other single-handed weapons, this has been a lot of fun and very effective. So I would encourage anyone who is interested in doing lots of messer work, especially if your club doesn't necessarily do a lot of messer, but you're fighting other weapons, this is a fun one. So once again, thumbs up. For the VB Messer, I'll put a link below with where you can get the description and everything, and hopefully they still have a few in stock. And meanwhile, this is Ramirez with Tidewater Renaissance Fighting Arts, and I will see you in the next video.